Now, this is not the outfit that I thought I would be wearing when recording this. So, if I go to reboot, this is the fabled account that I know so well. Look at that. So look, the Demon Slayer looks almost the same. It's the account, the hidden mystic one. Now, the reason I'm on this account and showing off the other characters that I have is I wanted to do a little nostalgia episode. This is the strongest main I've ever had. Level 249, and I definitely had access to other Typhoon growth potions. This could have been 250, I just didn't feel like it, had no reason. And honestly, with how much work I've put into this character could be a lot higher level than this. But I actually slowed down EXP at some point to maximize money. I willingly did that on purpose. But this isn't the nostalgia I wanted to show. There's a layer deeper. So, the world of Mardia no longer exists. However, there was a world transfer event that happened one time, and most of the people in Mardia jump shipped to Bara. So that's where you'll find my first Mercedes. Yeah, look at that. This is before I had naming conventions. Look at this. Every character has a completely different name. Just a completely different name. You have like some that almost come together, and then right next to it, just Heavenly Beat. What? And this? Flexing my like Japanese 1 knowledge? Yoru, Night, no? Possession? Hasaki? Blade? Blade of Night? Yeah, sure, makes sense. Kairizar? Love it. So, I can't believe just how much my old Mercedes looks like Lucid. And I played this character long before Lucid existed. Lucid copied me. Ah, look at that. Familiars. Bear one looks like Lucid. Reboot Mercedes is the actual main. So that means this one's the fake dream one. Reboot is the real one. My V matrix on this character is probably a travesty. Look at that. These trinodes don't even match. There's like some level 3s here. This skill's level 1. This one's level 2. Freud's wisdom is level 2. It's a travesty. On today's episode of Other Account Nostalgia, Kyrie will teach you how to buy low and sell high. No. I was always bad with the economy. Always. Now, question is... Oh, I have 3 minutes. Wait. I can't buy hyper teleport rocks in this server, can I? But you know what I can do? Daily gift? Yep. So if I kill some monsters in level range, I can get a daily hyper teleport rock. The strats are really coming out. I could kill a lot more if I was in the cave. Good morning, beef. I'm on my nostalgia account. We're going as deep into the nostalgia as possible. So now I can show you some actual Mercedes combos. Like the standard tornado dive tornado. All this in the name of a hyper teleport rock. And the great Mercedes hyper skill that I never got to show off, which is just this. It's one of the greatest hyper skills ever. And on release, it was one of the worst ever. And it's so good because it's a combo skill, which reduces the cooldowns of all my other combo skills. And Mercedes has one of the best 5th job skills ever, which is my shadow partners. Clean gift. There we go. Okay, now I have a hyper teleport rock. So now I can get out of here. Let's actually just use Elven Blessing to start. Because I love Elul and I always need more excuses to go back to Elul. Oh gosh, I wonder what my Link skills look like. We got Demon Slayer, Phantom, Luminous, Xenon, Demon Avenger, Kana, Zero, Shade, Kinesis, Angelic Buster, Pirate. Just one pirate. And Beast Tamer. They're mostly good. Oh my gosh. And all this outdated gear. Like a tyrant cloak with 7 stars. But alas, the amount of knowledge that I gained playing this Mercedes was vast. And yet I still, like, I laugh at where I left off on this character. Because the amount of knowledge that I gained on the next character was also vast. But like, before I made this Mercedes, my highest level character was like level 130 or something. It was in Iran for no other reason than it seemed kind of fun. Oh my gosh, I remember getting this legendary item. This is the only legendary I have. Wait, no, I got this one too. But I made a friend cry that night because I said I was gonna hang out with her, but then it turned out to be double miracle time and I canceled on her and she cried. But I was like, you have to understand, this is like, this only comes twice a year. And she was really not happy with me. There was a lot of crying on this character. Because like, before I made this character, link skills did not exist. Actually, I think Cannoneer was the first character with a link skill, which came out literally 1 month before Mercedes. So I just played a lot of like random characters, got them to like level 70-ish, 100-ish, and then just like quit them. I just kind of did it for fun. This character, as you can see, thoroughly did not stop around the level 120 mark. I'm trying to remember what level I was when I started making friends. Because playing Mercedes was the first character that I made friends on. And thanks to the Hyper Teleport Rock, I can just activate nostalgia at the click of a button. Eager to see that Legion board? Oh my gosh, does it even exist? It's not that button. I'll just leave this going. You do not meet the prerequisite. I don't have a Legion board on this character. I don't even have Legion unlocked on this account. It used to be called character cards back when I played this. And it used to be something that you would do in character selection screen. You would select 9 character cards. And they essentially did the same thing, except they didn't have like the grid bonus and the Tetris pieces. It was just their passive effects. But what I was gonna say about this wonderful undersea place was that Mercedes came out around Christmas time, and I was power leveling a character as per usual, because it was winter break. Me being the 10th grader that I was happy for a winter break, and there was an event mob around here, some like Rudolph that would drop these winter coins for the event, and I figured nobody would be around here. They'd be on like more popular maps. And I bumped into somebody with the same idea, and her name was Michelle, and we ended up becoming best friends. And honestly, she was one of the strangest people I ever met, because she was, I'm trying to think of what the term is, abrasive. She was like kind of in your face, kind of like a little rude, but also in like a weirdly respectful way. Like if you've ever seen Bakugo from My Hero Academia, like that. Very headstrong, but also like very intelligent. So like if you're doing something dumb, she'll call you dumb. But like if you're doing something smart, she'll be like, yeah, as expected. I don't know, I learned a lot from her. She taught me a lot of things. That might have been because she was like Korean exchange student with all the high expectations Asian stuff, but before I met her, MapleStory was just a game I would play for the funny numbers and for the grinding. But when I met her, Maple changed a lot. I would log on to see my friends every day, because I didn't have Facebook or anything. I didn't even have a phone back then. I just had MapleStory. There was no Discord, no Skype. I would log on MapleStory, and honestly, the place I'd find Michelle most often was the free market, which is a desolate place nowadays. Unless on regular servers there is something here. Nope, desolate. Can't even go there anymore. This is a joke. There used to be like these shops that people could just open up. But she would always just have a shop, and I would just log on and go find where her shop was and just hang out. And I met other friends like Jackie and Blake and G. Strange guy. He went by G, and that was just his middle initial, but he was like very mature and very laid back. Had a lot of fun. Good to see my facial expressions are all still on the same hotkeys. But I really think it was like the social aspect that drove me to progress further in the game. Because like there was only so much like grinding that I could really take. Can you jump and cry at the same time? I can't, because my cry is not bound to my keyboard. I can, however, jump and use my flying mount. And you will see that it swims in water. Amazing, right? Something about the social aspect of MapleStory was what drove me to really go beyond any limits I had gone. Because, like, I've always been capable of grinding something. And, I mean, having a character around, like, level 130 or 140, in this case, to get into the Temple of Time, it was no small feat, especially back then. I didn't even hit 100k lines when I was first here. And now this character hits like 5 million or 50 million. I can't tell what that is. I don't know. Yeah, the reason why I chose this interesting spot, Road of Regrets 4, over, you know, like a neutral place in the Temple of Time, is because this spot, as I always remember, was the first time I was ever like asked out. Go away, you're ruining my moment. When a friend asked me to be his girlfriend, and I thought I would never get another chance ever. And I just like panicked and said yes. And it was really fun and bubbly and happy for like 2 months. And then I was just like, what are we doing? I hardly know anything about you. And it was really sad. And that's just kind of how high school relationships work. And I didn't know about that. But like, gosh, coming home from school, like a rough day at school, and just logging onto MapleStory and just seeing my friends here, and just being like, hey, I'm grinding right now. I can like open up some space in a party and get you into LHC, which is another map that I can totally go to right now. Yeah, LHC, Lion King's Castle, because it says Lion King's Castle, but I swear it says Lionheart's Castle in here. Does it? Okay. For whatever reason, people call this Lionheart's Castle, and that's what I always remember it as. LHC. And this map used to be such a great training ground. It was one of the coolest training grounds ever. So, I want you to imagine that there was only 4 mobs on this map. Only 4. Now that sounds really bad. But now, what if I told you these maps were 6-man training grounds? As in, you would gain 50% additional experience for each party member you had. And there were 4 mobs on the map. The secret was because each mob had like boss-sized health bars that would take like a party of 6 to take them down. And they would give big experience. And there was just 4 of them on the map, respawning like every 10 seconds. So you would just see like 2 of them on a platform like this, and just the whole party would come up here, and they would just start beating on them, which I can sadly poke them to death now. I wish they would make stuff like this again, but I guess it just doesn't fit what modern MapleStory is now. But oftentimes I'd log in and see Blake here, or maybe Jackie. On really rare days we could get Michelle here, but most of the time she was busy with like studying for SATs to get her perfect score. And then there was G, who was never here because he was level 200 and like max endgame gear. Every line he hit was damage cap. Eternally jealous. Doesn't matter that I hit more damage than him now. Back then he was damage cap on every hit. The only thing he was gated by was the fact that his class was not top tier, because he used to play hero. My gosh. I loved him. He was my second relationship. Because I didn't learn my lesson from the first one. And chased after some infatuation with that one. He was a pretty cool guy though. That was the one when I mentioned, like, G. He was the one I mentioned when I said that I really liked him. But I wasn't, like, ready for any sort of real commitment. Because back in high school, I didn't really know what was required of a real commitment. I didn't really understand. I was just having fun with relationships. Which, in high school, I feel like that's kind of the healthy way to do it. Just have relationships for fun. Let them die after 2 months. Feel the heartbreak and learn from it. But, yeah, with G, we talked about it later when I was, like, second year in college. And we thought about the possibility of rekindling that and getting back together. But it's like, no, it's too weird now. Like, we're different people now. Just because we can doesn't mean we should. And G was the one that gave me this Falcon Wings Sentinel Cape, the Empress Cape. And wow, did I treat this thing horribly. But I mean, it was mine, and it was a birthday present. And at the very bottom it says crafted by G Byako. I love that it still says that. And look at some of this limited edition stuff I have. Royal Elven Tiara, a bathrobe, a luminous feather for some reason. Also, I have a fruit knife that's disguised to look like a Fafnir dagger. Mercedes with a knife. Watch out, she's dangerous. I have so much stuff on here. Ready for this? There it is. This is the peach I mentioned. When my friend Jackie was quitting, she gave me this peach to remember her by. Still have it. Rest in peace. She's not dead. I have no idea where she went. Like, she said she was going to college and that she wouldn't be able to play MapleStory anymore. And, like, that would be the end of it. And that was the last I ever heard of her. It's sad. I have Yakuza Underboss combs. Oh my gosh. Michelle used to love fighting this boss with me for whatever reason. And another fun thing was, Michelle and I used to race to Zakam. Let me go to Ice Valley too. Michelle and I used to duo Zakam just for fun and for drops because she used to sell mastery books. So she would do Zakam because Zakam used to drop mastery books and she would put them in her shop and sell them. So when we do that, like, I would just go for fun and for the experience, and she was doing it for the money. And, like, I was the only person that she could trust and not scam her and steal the drops. But we used to race to Zakam, and it was so much fun. The stuff that Mercedes does with all these ropes. I remember somebody once described Mercedes as, like, the parkour class. And this is where I learned, like, to move so smoothly on ice. Because if you don't hold any direction, you'll slide on the ice. But if you hold backward when you land, you'll land, like, solidly. And latching onto ropes resets your flash jump, so it's slightly faster to parkour off all the ropes. And this... Wait, where's the secret? The secret lava pit? I think it's in the next map over. Is this a secret pit? Yeah, this is a secret pit. Yeah. There's a secret map back here. Solo Czak? I don't know if this character even can. I could try it. I'll lose some EXP. Receive offering for Chaos Zakam. Chaos Zakam. Oh my gosh, this just reminded me of how, like, dying to Chaos Zakam in a party with G was, like, what we were doing right before my famous confession to him the first time around. It was not an intentional confession. It was very much accidental and very animated. Ah! Still bad? Good to see it. Still bad? Let's see, it should be like right here is the safe spot. Nope. Sockham's arms are deflecting attacks, so it really does have damage effect. Yeah, this character is kind of a joke compared to my other Mercedes, but it's okay. This one doesn't need to have the damage. Most of the equips on this character were just like given to me by friends because I didn't really know how to get them for myself. Glimmering Wonderoid heart. At least I have that. Can't take that one away from me. Part of me wishes I had like something else to show for all this. I kind of don't. This character certainly has like all of the tools to just press on. I have CRA, I have superior goal looks. It's all not bad. Fashion on point. Absolutely. I wish I could reclaim these wings on the other account. I wish I could get this whole look for another character. It's a very simplistic look, plus giant wings, I guess. I don't know, the color matches. The color scheme all goes together. There's this interesting rainbow effect that follows me that's pretty subtle. Fashion story on point. Is this... See? This is proof of an old character. Piercing Storm level 19, no skill points available. I told you guys. I told you guys this used to happen. You weren't always able to max all of your skills. Let's see, third job, Gust Dive, level 19. Little did I know how useful Gust Dive would be in the future. The useless one here is actually Aerial Barrage. Because the only thing Aerial Barrage is really used for late game is a movement option. And the only movement option it really does is this one. Is there anything else nostalgic that I can show off just because I can? Oh yeah, there's another thing. In Magesia. So you guys still remember that password? It ended in like LEP 8. This is my super secret spot. So if you remember that password, it opens this door over here. Now I've already typed my password in. But it leads to here with this guy. Now I'm gonna poke him. Now I'm gonna shoot him. And it leads to this other door. Now this door is actually not all that exciting. Because if I have this right, yeah. This just appears in town on the other side of town. But if you try to come in this door also asks for a password. So you have to unlock it on both sides to be able to get in here. Which begs the question, what do you need to kill this boss for? You don't. You never need to kill this boss. But if you're looking for cool stuff, this is a cool thing. And you know what's even cooler? This sewer drain over here. A door leading to the Black Magician's lab. It didn't used to say that. It's so ham-handed now. You cannot use skills on this map. Didn't there used to be like a little jump puzzle here? Did they remove it? Oh, are you kidding me? They removed it. Oh, this is so easy now. This is a fake wall here, by the way. Ah, here it is, here it is. Yeah. This place. I had a friend who used to come brood here. And every time when I would do the stalker thing, you know, the slash find his name, it would show up as Hidden Street Black Magician's Lab. And I would scour the world map, nowhere to be found, because of course it is a hidden street. It doesn't show up on the map. And it took me the longest time to get him to tell me where this place was. And my gosh, did it take an entire day to get here the first time. That's a cubing spot? It is. I've actually done cubing here before. Although if you want to know where my actual cubing spot is, where I spend all my time cubing, it's up here. This is where I do my cubing, because I really like this spot. Which one of you is getting a cube? Who wants it? Who wants it? Give me a rare potential. You have a rare potential. Get cubed. 3% dex. See? Look at that. That's a main stat right there. It's a little sad that, like, everyone's gone. I mean, in theory, I could just make new friends, but this is not my world anymore. I wonder if that's why the friends list is gone, because this literally isn't Mardia. I probably lost the friends list when moving to Bara, but it's okay that there's no one left. I feel like I've surely been everywhere. To the Vanishing Journey, where people go to vanish. I guess this is the last time I'll really see this character. Trying to think of a way to not really make this sad, but something about it feels sad. I guess that's what nostalgia always does. It always just kind of feels like all the stuff that once was, this is kind of, it's already happened. Much like this place. Which is why I honestly spend a lot of time in Nameless Town. I remember when I first showed my friend Rose this place, she came here and she listened to the music, and she said that it just seems like this music cries for an era that has since passed. And I told her I felt the same way, but she said that she just couldn't quite connect with it because she never knew anything about what that era was like. Because she didn't used to play back then. Rose was like a relatively newer player. So like, she doesn't know what the pet park is. She doesn't know this mailbox. Well, she probably knows that this thing's from Shade, but like, she doesn't see this little mushroom thing and think to press up on it. The era that's passed was an era that I lived through. But this world keeps moving, and this world isn't dead yet. And this world is full of new beginnings. That's a lot of how nostalgia feels. It's like 40% sad, 40% happy, and then like 20% of like mystery feeling. Like you just don't quite know. It's kind of sad, kind of happy, and also like this other feeling that you just can never name. It makes you feel like there's something more to it. Like there has to be a purpose, but there just isn't one. It just kind of lives in your heart. And it means something to only yourself. Sort of makes me wish that one day my series could get big enough that those friends from the past would see it. Michelle, Jackie, Blake, and G. Maybe. Maybe one day they'll be browsing YouTube and one of my videos will show up in their feed. But there's so many new friends to come. And before I started this series, I didn't know of anyone named Rumi or Ty. or Mox, or Dao. Now they're here all the time. It's wonderful. And there's Zerhu too, with my old raid group from last year. I waste no time making friends. I'm never alone for long. So while this character has no one left on the friends list, that's okay. Because on my new account, everything is well underway for a great new beginning. So there is just one thing left to do. I said at the start of this series that you should make a name placeholder, a level 10 name placeholder for the main that you plan to make. And I still stand by that. It's a good idea to make a name placeholder for anyone else. But something about it wasn't enough for me, not this time. Something about the name just... it didn't hold the same weight. The last thing I want to do is be embarrassed by my own name. So, I know a name that I will never be embarrassed by.